that's an interesting model. What did you say it was? So here's a... do I have the box? Oh. Sorry for the rumbling. It's a widget. That's the name. That's the word. There you go. So sorry, guys. This is not fitting on screen here. Let me... This is the model kit. Maschinen Krieger. 44 type, MK44 Ammoknights smart gun equipment type. So this is a Japanese model kit. This is the design overall. The painting and the design of it comes from a modeler and designer called Ko Yokoyama. He's been building and creating kits ever since the 80s, I believe. So it's about as old almost as Gundam, as the heart, right? Yeah. Very, very interesting kits. Very different than Gundam, which is kind of why I like them. There's something very, very messy and junky about them that I enjoy. So yeah, this is an example of the kit right here. I also have... So we're still in the process of painting it and weathering it, which is kind of like the objective for today, I suppose. But there's a pilot. There's a pilot that it comes with, and I did paint the pilot right here. Yeah, I did the face and everything. This was pretty challenging. But yeah, so that's to give you an idea of the scale of the model. That this is how tall a human is. Relative to the armored suit itself, which is again very unusual compared to something like Gundam. In the world of Gundam, the models are often like massive relative to the human. So yeah, that is what we've done. And here, guys, I can show you something else since we're kind of doing a little bit of show and tell. I have this right here. This is the big project that I've been working on lately. All right, so we're going to use this dark brown. To start with. We don't want to use black, straight up black. I think we could possibly mix some black into this, but let's just try this right off the bat. This is actually a bunch of new paint. I bought this like pack here, rust, stain, and streaking. You know, so some people buy things to take out stains and streaks. I buy things to add stains and streaks. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. Steph, human dad. I'm a bird. So yeah, right now we're just adding some chipping and rust. Not the rust, mind you, just the chipping. And we're kind of adding this dark brown along the edges of the model. And we're going to use some sponges. We're going to use a brush, as you can see, to kind of go around the edges. Anything that like a hard edge that would cause chipping, like if you look at, say, your phone, for example, if your phone or maybe you've got like a, you know, some like heavy duty equipment in your garage, for example, all of these things are good reference points for rust and chipping, and that's kind of what I'm doing now. And as you can see, I'm sort of using the flat side of my brush, the long side of my brush rather, to create this. And again, this is a matter of just building it up over time. Barely use Twitter, says Yaza, other than to see other Twitch streamer friends post memes. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's more or less the extent that I use Twitter. They had a pretty good run. All of these social media things, they have like a limited time span, whether it be MySpace, you know, Asian Avenue, blah blah blah. You guys know all of those things. They all have a limited shelf life. Twitter had a good run compared to all those other ones, but it's gonna happen. It happens to all of them. They all get got. It was just a matter of time. Arch. Also, I fill up my sketchbook today on lunch break. Oh, shit. Nice. Man, you know what? I haven't been really keeping up with the sketchbook. I collect sketchbooks, but I don't actually do much art in them, especially now that I'm kind of getting more into digital stuff. So yeah, I should probably doodle in my sketchbook. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, congrats. That's sweet. So we might have to go darker here. Add some more brown on that part. it's sometimes it's a better idea to do all your chipping and weathering um, with the parts separate, with the parts all disassembled. But it's been my experience that at least doing a pass where it's all assembled helps you kind of get a more unified sense of it, and then you can kind of go back, disassemble it, and then do more. It's just that in the past I've done my weathering separate in separate parts, disassembled. And what ends up happening is like there's kind of a lack of continuity between, for example, a scratch. You might do a scratch on one part, but then it doesn't continue on the next part. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I'm kind of doing this now. Vanilla, that's the most exciting part of buying a sketchbook. The future, the potential. Steph, that was a question earlier. If you painted them piece by piece or all together. Oh, sorry, guys. I'm sorry for Steph and anyone else that's asked. So, if I missed it, my apologies. But yeah, I tend to do both. Like, ideally, I'd like to do as much as I can assembled. Ideally, I'd like to do as much as I can with all of it put together. But sometimes it's just not feasible because the model is just a lot more complicated. There's just there's just all these like intricate details, blah blah blah, and it's hard to get at it. Steph, what kind of paintbrush is that? What? It's actually just a piece of sponge. It's just a piece of this kitchen sponge, and then it's attached with a clipper with a little one of these babies. Yeah. That's what we have doing here. Clever. Yeah, how are you doing, Steph, by the way? Nice to see you here. Hope you're doing well. Chuk approves. Okay. To torture people? I don't know how they're called. Clamps? They're just like little clamps. Oh, there's some people that are into that, Vanilla. I'm just saying. Oh boy, here we go. Alligator. The thing for me, the thing for me when it comes to weathering is that you kind of have to be restrained. You kind of have to slowly build it up over time. There's an impulse, there's a human impulse to really go in and go in heavy with it. But I've always felt like if you go in and do too much, it's very hard to take it back. But if you just do a little bit at a time, that is enough. That's enough to kind of get the results that you want. This train is going down a track. This is just getting derailed here. Because like I said, this model is fairly large compared to other kits out there, and so it's one of those things that I can't do all the weathering universally to the entire model, but I could possibly show you an example of what I intend to do for the entirety of the model. Let's go to the zoo. Skip the Tina questions. Let's go to the zoo. See ya. Yeah, not really sure how much time we're gonna have. Like I said, you skip out on the questions, that's a whole other issue. They'll say, where is he? Why is he not here? That's just, the whispers. The whispers start coming back to you. You have to make your presence known, but you also have to make your presence not known and recede into the shadows. Press X to skip the dialogue. If only. That would be a very nice feature from video games that I could put into reality. I would enjoy that. I think the key is smoke bombs. If I can get a smoke bomb and just smash it into the ground and then vanish. Maybe if I can figure out how to parry, like in Street Fighter. If I can parry their questions. Yeah, I very well might have some events to relay to you back at the end of the month, perhaps. Drive Impact. That sounds like a lot. I'm gonna drive impact those questions. So actually, we're kind of running into an issue here. As I said, what I'm doing now is I'm adding a little white to the underside of some of these darker chips and scratches. That acts as a bit of like a flaking effect of chipped paint. The darker parts being the exposed kind of like iron or steel of the armor, and then the white part acting as like a glint of light on the edges here. However, there's a bit of an issue where this ace of spades here, it has no chipping done to it. I have not done any effects chipping to it, and that makes it kind of stand out. So what I need to do is actually kind of go back and rough this thing up. I have to actually wait till this thing is firmly set in and dry, and then I'll actually go in and chip this thing itself as well. That's what we need to do. I'm trying to get some very, very small detail here. I like this kind of thing, even though it's kind of tedious. But I do enjoy kind of adding these tiny, tiny, small details. Helps make the thing kind of come alive. Should be a perma student, join a trade school, and always be like, I'm studying. I'm studying. What are you studying? A doctor? A nurse? No, auntie. What is this? Oh my gosh. Do you know how many times I've had family ask me, like, what is illustration? What is... I'm studying to be an illustrator. What is illustration? Oh, it's like the drawings. It's like the drawings that you see on like in the newspaper or magazines, the covers of a book. And they're like, so cartoons, you do cartoons. And then they'll just get up, everyone, he does cartoons, he's a cartoonist. I didn't say that. That has happened. Animation, you do cartoons. No. No, but anyways. I need to learn how to drive impact. But then they ask when you're graduating, to meet someone from school, da 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 da. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, guys. Cartoon. Hey, what's going on, Canadian Kami Pla? What's that going on, Kami? How are you today? Just working on the Maschinen Krieger kit here. Taking our time, taking our sweet ass time. It's very small details that I want to kind of get, and I'm having a little issue with the paint, as a matter of fact. I feel like the paint is probably thinned too much for this purpose. I probably should have left it a little thicker. It's an infinite loop. Yep, they got me in the loop. They got me in the spin cycle, guys. They got me. But listen, Chook's got the right idea. Any other, y'all know about this. If there's lechon, Chook, Eddie, you got lechon somewhere. Big old piece of roasted pork, a whole roasted pork. Now we're talking. I can tolerate. I can maintain. Yeah, very small details I'm doing now. Poor Tummy. Kami just chilling at my girlfriend's building the MJ Duel when she's at work. Building the MG Duel. Nice, hell yeah. Right on. I can show you guys as an example what I want to do for the chips and scratches on the decal itself. I don't think that the decal is quite dry right now. So here, let's try and figure something out. Music. This is very random, but has your sloth character always had that hat? No. The hat is a unique feature for today only because it's the artist raid train from Artists Together. It's an artist community that is super supportive. It's a Discord where a lot of information is exchanged about critiquing work and all sorts of great things. People share their work, and they do these raid trains, which is what's happening right now. Today, I am the first of the raid train. I'm sure Chook or Steph or Vanilla can explain it better, but I'll be raiding someone in about an hour and a half time, I think. The next person, and yeah, the hat is because of the train. Just for you guys, yeah. Good question though. Good question. Not random at all. Very relevant. Da 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 da.